we're here with a review of one of the most anticipated albums of the year in the music realm. That is Ghost, their new album, Prequelle. It's their follow-up to Meliora from 2015, which blew this band up, for sure. That album has a lot of hits on it, and that album's just fantastic. And so much anticipation for the new one. We reviewed Rats, their first single, and that was a good jam.
It is a good jam.
They put out another good jam, and now the album's here. What'd you think of it?
I like the album. I don't think I like it as much as their last album, and there's a couple of reasons. Probably the two big ones is that, as you would kind of point out, there are some weird mixing things with a lot of songs on this album that just kind of makes this album sound weird. And maybe this isn't necessarily a bad thing, but once I noticed it, I see it now, which was I was listening to Dance Macabre, and I was like, this sounds like another band. And I played it for my mom, and she's like, is this the Scorpions? And I'm like, yep, that's what it is. And so I just noticed that, and so that almost not takes me out, but I almost like, because I went back and I listened to like the last album bit, and it's there a little bit, but it's not as much. I'm like, did they always sound like that? But not as much. But there's I can hear it, but like it's a lot more overt here, and I do enjoy like a lot of the songs. Rats and Dance Macabre are the two hits they put out, and those are still probably the two. Not probably, they're the two best songs on the album. But like songs like I really like Faith, despite mixing issues aside. Faith's a good song, and I actually like both of the instrumental songs on the album. I like Miasma, I think is really good, and oh hell
yeah,
how about this fun stuff?
The second to last
song.
I'm not even going to try to pronounce that.
That's a good song, and I really like those two because I'm like, oh wow, like the first one was cool. I'm like, oh cool, there's two instrumental tracks on this album. That's pretty cool. Like, and I think the Miasma is a bit better, and then Witch Image is really good.
Yeah.
The only things that I felt were like are the two ballady songs on this album, personally. The Pro Memoria and Life Eternal. I was just kind of like, they're okay. I feel like those are so far pulled back in some ways from like the Ghost sound. You know what I mean? Like they're not as Ghost sounding. Different. It's something different, but it's like I was thinking of like songs like He Is from their last album. Yeah. I kind of think of them like
it doesn't have the catch factor.
It doesn't, and so those are like really the only two tracks that kind of run like maybe you could have done something a little bit, but otherwise I think this is a very good album. It's just I think you can tell maybe a little bit that they were now that they did blow up, that they're trying to get a little bit more of that mainstream appeal, which you can't blame them for, because I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, everybody wants to be successful. It's just, and it's not even a bad thing. Like I said, I like a majority of the songs on this album. It's, yeah. So I've enjoyed. There's a lot of cool crunchy riffs. I mean, Faith, the riff in Faith is like typical. Same thing with the Witch Image, and of course Dance Macabre and Rats. And then the other one that I noticed is the main riff to Miasma. I'm like, yeah, there's like a nice little melody. So all in all, I think it's a good album.
Yeah, it is certainly good. I think my excitement for it outweighs how much I actually enjoy it, personally. But it does have some damn fine tracks. And when Ghost is at the top of their game, I feel that they are truly one of the bands that are at the top of the fucking game. You know what I mean? When you're listening to songs like Rats, for example, it's like, this just has such an incredible feeling. Like, the riffs are there, the vocal hooks are there, the guitar solos are there, and holy balls are some of the guitar solos on here great. Ghost, like, I feel, are very underrated when it comes to guitar solos. They're not the flashiest things, but they are the most well-written things that you will hear. To me, the one is Cerise from their last album. Gets me every single time I listen to it. It's perfection. And there's a lot of those sort of guitar solos on here, and some of them are great. there's a lot of melody to this album, which I appreciate. I think Ghost is really good at doing that sort of stuff. They're good at taking like a crunchy, simplistic riff and then throwing melody later on and really bringing the two together pretty well. And there's a lot of that on here, and I think it's done well. To me, it's just the only thing that... I just feel like certain tracks are mixed a little bit differently than others, and you probably do mix them all differently at the end of the day, depending on what sounds are going on in the track. But like, to me, the example that jumps out and it hit me like immediately when that riff started is in Faith, and that riff is awesome. I wish that riff punched me in the face so hard I wouldn't be here doing this review right now. You know what I mean? I'm just knocked out cold because that's a great riff. But instead, all I'm hearing is the goddamn cymbals of the drums the entire time. In Miasma, a great track, but when it gets towards the end, things are getting crazier. All I'm hearing is the drums. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just my ears, and I'm sure my ears definitely make things sound a little bit different than your ears. But still, like, those things really sometimes just, I was like, really sucked out of it. There's some solid tracks on here. I actually like Pro Memoria. I think it's a interesting song for sure. It's a slower one. It has a little bit of a cheesy chorus to me.
Oh yeah, like hardcore.
But it's a chorus that'll really get stuck in your head. But to me, like, Witch Image fucking jams later on. That is a great song, and that's something that I could totally see fitting on their last album for sure. And this is a different album from them. They do different things with every album, but they still kind of maintain their image a little bit. And this one definitely has more appeal to it, I think.
Yeah.
But it's still trying to pull people in, but not, turn off the people that enjoy them. Yeah. And I don't think that's a bad thing. Like I said, there are some fine tracks on here. I think one track on here that I think is interesting, and to me it also comes to just some weird sounding stuff there too, is See the Light.
Yeah. So
See the Light, I really like that song vocally. I think it's really well done, but the fucking chorus and the riffage or rhythms, I'm like, every time I'm like, what is going on here? It's weird.
But it's a good kind of weird.
Yeah.
All right.
It's not bad for sure, but it's a different chorus for Ghost in one that I like. I think Cornucopia sounds fucking fantastic on here.
He does.
Every time the verses of Dance Macabre get going, it gives me the feels. Like I totally agree with the Scorpions thing. Like, wow, when you make that connection, but it sounds really, really well done. There's some amazing vocal parts on here. Or every time the chorus of Rats starts, you kind of just feel like dancing. It's fun.
I sing along every time, especially when like the harmonized vocals come in. I'm like,
it's a good album. It's an album that I'm going to listen to for sure. It's an album that I think my expectations were a little bit too high for it, just because of the trajectory this band is on. You know what I mean? I thought it would just fucking hit up here, where it hits a little bit below that, but it's still a solid effort. And I just overall think their last album's better. I go back and listen to their last album, like, every song's fucking great on that one. But this isn't bad. Any last words?
I mean, the only other thing that I thought about while we were talking was, it kind of caught me off guard, and I'm thinking, is this the year of the saxophone? Because Miasma has like a saxophone in it.
I noticed that too.
I'm like,
everybody's bringing it in.
Is it the year of the saxophone? I'm like, awesome, why not?
Dude, it might. Maybe at the end of the year we need to do top 5 saxophone solos in metal.
Let's do it. If we can find 5. Well, we probably could. Yeah. If you look far enough, you could probably find
it. Nile has a few. They could have 2.
Yeah, they could have 2. Yeah.
There was a band recently. Another band that I'm probably blanking on. I feel like an idiot. But they had like saxophone weird shit going on. I'm going to have to dig.
Rivers of Nile. I mean, that's the only one I
know.
No,
it's not Rivers of Nile. It's somebody else.
The only one I know. But...
what would you give Prequelle?
I give it a I'll give it a 7.5. I like the album.
7.5 for me too. It's solid. It's fine. Go listen to it. Let us know what you think. We got a lot of stuff happening.
Oh yeah.
We're going to go rank Testament albums. We're going to do an E3 video.
We got all kinds of stuff. We're actually going to be a breakdown this week because
Stuff
oh my god, stuff got announced.
Check it out.